Judiciary Committee ranking member Chuck Grassley. By the way, we did reach out to your Democratic colleague, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Dick Durbin. He declined our offer. We just wanted to mention that, Senator. Now, we have the warrant. That was released by the Justice Department, and Donald Trump was in agreement with its release, but we don't have the affidavit. And this is what the FBI used to get the approval from the magistrate to go ahead with the raid. Should we see that affidavit?
Absolutely. Garland goes on television because he wants to be transparent. Full transparency is going to be when they release the affidavit. And this is such a high-profile and very strange way of going about getting documents from a former president that the affidavit is going to be absolutely necessary if we're going to have full transparency, and this demands full transparency because without transparency, government is not accountable. The public's business must always be public.
And we should remember, by the way, that there was evidence that was given to the FISA courts during the whole Russian collusion kerfuffle that was wrong. That was either misinformation or actually just not true. There was an FBI attorney, Kevin Kleinsmith, who pled because of the fact he agreed that the information was not correct, that he gave for the various warrants that he had there. So it has been true that the FBI in the past has given bad information to judges in order to get a warrant. That's another reason why we need to see this affidavit, right?
Carter Page's FISA, the Steele dossier, how they handled the Clinton investigation, and how there was no prosecution there, and there was mishandling of classified information, just like the same charge against President Trump. And so just figure the double standard that we have within the FBI over a long period of time, not just under Christopher Wray. And I have had enough investigation that has been recently reported by you folks that there is political bias within the FBI, and I think it's legitimate to raise the question about possible political bias between the way they handled the Clinton investigation, Carter Page, Steele dossier, and the way President Trump has been treated, particularly when he has said continuously, if you want any more, just come and get it.
Right. Well, and that leads to the nature of the raid and whether or not it was necessary. Here's what Attorney General Garland said on Thursday about that. Roll tape.
First, I personally approve the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly. Where possible, it is standard practice to seek less intrusive means as an alternative to a search,
report tells me that,
and to narrowly scope any search that is undertaken.
Now, of course, what he didn't say, and maybe this would appear on the affidavit, is why less intrusive means something other than a raid was impossible. He didn't say what had changed between the time that the FBI and Mar-a-Lago folks and the president himself, the former president himself, were negotiating. Then suddenly you have this raid. I mean, what do you think happened in the meantime?
Attitude.
Well, you got President Trump saying that just come and get it. I think he said that back in June when they previously had taken some boxes from the home there. But I think more importantly is the double standard. He says less intrusive. They surely used the less intrusive when they were investigating Hillary Clinton, and look at raid on the president's home. It's an entirely different thing, and it doesn't look to me like they went very far in using quote unquote the less intrusive method.
Right. And Senator, the fact that we've never seen anything like this, the fact that this was a former political rival of President Biden in 2020, and he may in fact be a political rival of President Biden in 2024, we see things like that happening in other countries like Pakistan, where a former president is arrested and so forth in order dispose of a political rival. I mean, who knows whether that's happening here, but it is a bad perception. The optics of this look terrible, no?
Well, it looks very political, and I think I've talked already in this program, but over the last 2 months about political bias. We have evidence coming from whistleblowers within the Department of Justice about political bias, about Hunter Biden's investigation being stopped, and Trump's investigation getting a go-ahead from a guy that, special agent, that had political bias. We know it from his social media statements.
Sure. Well, let me just ask, you've mentioned these whistleblowers in the FBI before. When are they going to go public, if at all?
Well, they wouldn't dare go public. They'll lose their job. Now, that's contrary to what Christopher Wray told me, and I hope Christopher Wray, I believe him when he says he wants to protect whistleblowers, but down in the bowels of the bureaucracy of the FBI, they could be, they're treated like skunks at a picnic. Most whistleblowers are. So I don't want them to come public.
Right.
And I'm not going to make them public. I can sure tell you that.
Gotcha. Very quickly, the Washington Post reported yesterday that there was something nuclear in the information the FBI was trying to get about nuclear secrets, etc. We have seen these leaks to the press in the past, some of which were totally bogus. Do you give any credibility to that information?
I think the credibility is hurt as a result of this warrant being issued 3 or 4 days before the raid actually took place. If there was a nuclear espionage sort of thing involved, you would think Friday they get the warrant, Friday they immediately go to the president's home.
Yeah. Senator Grassley, wonderful to see you, sir. Thank you for coming in on a weekend. I really appreciate it.